Hello, this is your girl Loc'd Lotus coming to you from Goddess Vlog Media and iSteepDaily. Yes, it's been a minute, but all is well. Everything is coming together exactly the way it's supposed to, and I'm really excited about it. Let's just say that. So, just a little bit. I am very deep into my healing journey and changing the way I move through life to make it easier to live in without trying to change other people to do that. That is where I am right now. Now, hey, I don't have any type of degrees or any kind of credentials on anything I'm getting ready to talk about on iSteepDaily, which I'm gonna tell you about it in just a second. But the only credentials I have is that I've lived the experiences that I talk about. That's it. I have lived the experiences that I'm talking about. I am currently living the experiences I'm talking about, and I'm gonna continue to talk about the experiences that I live in the future. So that's all. That's it. This is what happened. This is what I did to help myself in the season, and you can try it too. That's about it. So that's where I am with that. But yeah, that's my journey. Like really in a space where I'm learning to change the way I look at things versus trying to change the environment around me to accommodate me, to make me feel comfortable. I know this happens a lot. And I used to do it. And again, I'm always going to talk about something that has to do with me. So in this healing journey, I must say that I have, sometimes you take your past and you make it the reason why it's hard for you to move forward in your future. So, what I used to do is take past traumas and make them an excuse as of why I'm moving through life the way I'm moving through life, because I've had trauma. I need to heal from it, you know. But I think I had got to a space of elevation in my healing when I realized I can no longer wear that as a badge and use it as an excuse for why I can't move forward. Yes, we've all had a past. Yes, we've gone through traumas. Yes, we've gone through all of these things. However, when I got to a space to where I could no longer use it as a badge, I matured in a way to say, hey, these things happen. There's nothing I can do about them. And what can I take from that experience to allow me to move forward in life now? So once I stopped looking at my traumas as traumas and started looking at them as experience that I've lived through, and I'm here to talk about it. So what am I going to say? Am I going to continue to enforce the fact that it was an issue, it was a problem, it was a trauma, or am I going to move past it in a way to say, this happened, this is what I got from it, and this is why I'm a better person? When I used to do that, I called it steeping. Basically, steeping meaning staying in a space too long and taking in the toxicity of it, over steeping. Like the tea been done, girl. The tea been done. And it's still sitting there steeping, getting bitter, and not turning it into anything that would be comfortable to digest. So I would steep in different things due to the fact that I still lived in the past in my head of the things that has happened or the things that, went down or whatever. And, I wanted to hold on to the hurt because I was comfortable there. That's where I had been. That's where I'd always been. I was just comfortable there. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I was comfortable. So in my space of steeping, I found a way to, I don't know, start to process my thoughts, process my past, process my traumas, and see why they're still showing up for me in my life now as I live it. And it's now it's hard to look at yourself now. You know that. Don't nobody want to look at the real deal of what they are, who they are, and why they're the way they are. Nobody want to look at it. We want to give it an excuse. my badge and go sit down somewhere. But yeah, it was time to really get to a space to where I was really looking at myself and trying to figure out, how am I allowing this in my life? So if anybody know, I had me a little boutique for a little hot moment, my little portal that I had to create right quick to meet some people, and it happened and it's done. But when I had my boutique, I realized that I started to really like and enjoy herbs. So when I closed it, I had like this whole apothecary just ready made. So I started to play around with my teas and stuff like that, and make different teas for different reasons and seasons, and it started to kind of turn into a little thing or whatever. And I realized that with all the tea that I was sipping, I'm like, damn, I'm sipping about 3 cups of tea a day. So it's been scientifically proven, let's just get this out the way, that when you sit down with a hot cup of tea, any type of hot beverage, honestly, but a cup of tea, it calms the nervous system almost immediately. You can be going through a whole situation and somebody sit your butt down with a little bit of tea, and you put your hand around the cup like this and you sip it. It does something. It does something. And you know it. You know that. So tea is scientifically proven to calm the nervous system. So here I am trying to do my little healing. I'm trying to calm my nervous system because it's all out of whack, because I'm allowing the things that I haven't healed from to keep me in a mess. So I'm trying to pull that together. I'm sipping tea daily. I'm coming to my steep altar 3 times a day. And when I say steep altar, this is what I mean. I don't know if this is something that's already out there, but this is just how I look at it. In order for me to do something in a manner that I'm going to continue to do, like a routine or a ritual, I have to have a meaning to it. It has to resonate with me a certain kind of way for me to continue to do it no matter what. So I look at, when people have their altars, for whatever reason they have their altars, because I'm not going to get into all of that like that. But I do know one thing. You need 4 elements on your altar. So we have our earth, which is the herbs that we steep for our tea. We have the water, which is the water that the herbs are steeping in. We have the heat, which is the fire that heats the water. And we have the steam, which is the air. So if we're going to our steep altar 3 times a day, I was, and still am. We're going to the steep altar 3 times a day. Water has memory. So I watched this little 2-hour documentary on how water has memory, right? And how you can speak words into the water and it will carry it. You can manifest that way, just kind of, aligning with everything, every move you make. I mean, we're made up of how much percentage of water? It's like 70 something percentage of water, something like that. So we are water beings. Water has memory. If we are speaking affirmations or manifestations or alignments into our tea, 2-3 times a day, what is that going to do? Ritualistically, it puts you in a headspace of where you're constantly aligning. So I'm speaking into my water, I am pure divine love, and you sip it. As you're sipping your tea, you're embodying what you just spoke into it. Don't you get that shit? You are embodying in liquid form what you have just spoken into your tea. And if you do it like I do it, you're doing it about 3 times a day. Okay? That's some shit. I'm drinking gut tea today. Keep my little gut together. Gut is the center of your mental health. You know that, right? If your gut is off, your mental health is off. So we all walking around here crazy and gutless. I crack myself up. Who gonna do it? If I don't do it, who gonna do it? And that's what I'm learning. Everything that I need is inside me. Everything that I need is inside me. So when I go to my steep altar 3 times a day, and I put into my water and my tea what I'm looking for to align with, I'm doing that wholeheartedly. I'm allowing the moment. I'm embodying the moment. So I look at sipping tea as not just something to do for, oh, I just want to have some tea right quick. Oh, it's a new tea spot up the street. Let's go and, do tea parties all day. It's not that. It's more of, this is a ritual that I know I can commit to, that just so happen to have health benefits, allowing me to reconnect with the earth. As a feminine energy, we got to. We got to. We got to connect with the earth. We got to. It's a whole thing about that. Like, it's something about when we connect to the earth. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. But there is something about connecting to the earth as a feminine energy, and it is all of that. I'm not even going to tell y'all about how I grew this this plant, this shrub, this bush in the back of my yard with my cycle blood. I said it. Rewind it back. With the blood from my cycle. This bush came up out of nowhere from that. We'll talk about that another day. But I've come to realize that I needed a system. I needed a tool. I needed something to kind of help me level myself out when I found myself in a space. And because I would steep a lot, I needed to figure out a way. What do I do when I'm in this steep season and I can't get out of it? Or I'm in this steep cycle and I can't get out of it? What can I do, to mentally align myself with progress so I don't sit in it? You see what I'm saying? So I came up with my own little way of processing my feelings. When I feel something that rises up in me, usually it's some type of emotion. It's whether I'm, happy, sad, angry, high anxiety, because that happens a lot, high anxiety. What am I going to do to get myself out of it? Or am I going to allow myself to oversteep in the moment, So I came up with a processing tool called Steep. And when we find ourselves, or when I find myself in a situation where I am steeping, I go to my steep. So the first step in steep is to say it, sit with it, feel what it is that you're feeling. So say, for instance, if I am in a space where I'm feeling high anxiety, as I'm going to sit with that anxiety, what is causing this anxiety to show up in me right now? What's making me be all over the place? What's putting me in the air element of scatteredness? I pay attention to what happened a few minutes prior or what happened the day before. If there was something that kind of hit me away and I never really let it go, I moved throughout the day, but I never let it go. Like, what is allowing me to be in a space of high anxiety? So I'm trying to process and see where that exactly is coming from. And for the T, it is tell the truth. Okay? Tell the truth. Be honest with yourself. Be honest. I have to be honest with myself when I'm going through something. I feel high anxiety because, I don't know, I'm worried about what people going to say. You see what I'm saying? I feel high anxiety because I'm worried about what the people think. That's what we do. We worried about what the people think. So I'm worried about what the people think. So it's causing high anxiety. So in the next step, the E, the first E, is extraction. You're going to take away what is real and what's not. What's real is everything within you that is your authentic self. Me. This is a fact. I am me, and that is a fact. What's fiction? What's real and what's fiction? What's fiction is what the people gonna think. Because it doesn't have to be real to you. Okay? It doesn't have to be real to you. So extracting what's real and what's not. What's real is I'm me and I'm here. Doing my thing. What's not real is the opinions of other people. So let's do that extraction. Do that. And then we're going to embody. That's the second E. So we're going to embody the new mindset that allows us to continue to move in the space that we have just presented to ourselves when we extracted the bullshit. So I'm going to embody the fact that I'm going to move the way I need to move for me, and I'm going to extract the bullshit. I'm just going to let people be, let people talk, whatever the case may be, but I'm going to embody the fact that I'm good no matter what. And whatever I need to do to make sure I can walk in that and not feel anxiety behind it, that's what I need to focus on. And the last step, which is P, for the whole word steep, P is to pour back into yourself. That's when you go to your steep altar. That's when you can journal. That's when you can do something to pour back into yourself, because what you just decided to do was, we're about you, embody you. You found a way to target your anxiety, figure out what's real and what's not with it, embody the new mindset, and then put that in a ritualistic form of, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. Every day that you steep, there, whatever it is you're dealing with, because you done dealt with something before you steeped, you're dealing with something during the steep, and you're going to deal with something after the steep. So you're going to always have something to say. You're always going to have something to put into this when you're doing it. You're going to always have something to take to the altar. Take it to the altar. In here, in this cup. In here. Oh, I love sipping tea. Oh, it do something to me. That is why I am so excited about iSteepDaily. So, I came up with iSteepDaily. My mouth getting a little dry because my lips, because I'm steeping all my gloss off. But iSteepDaily, I know I was running across my clients when I first said I wanted to do it. And I know they probably think I'd be crazy. I be coming up with these elaborate ideas, and then they got to sit there and watch me do it. I had clients jumpstart their book careers and everything. I've been wanting to be an author. I'm getting ready to write my book now. And I walked there and saw you doing all these teas. You said you was going to do it. Yes. Yes, I said I was going to do it. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I don't care how it turn out. I don't care if it's successful in your eyes or not. Because I done stick through that. So, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do what I feel like I'm called to do. And that's it. Do my shit. So, I've been putting together my stuff. And I'm realizing this is actually a monster. Okay? I'm putting together something that is really, really, really come together nicely. I call it iSteepDaily because I do. iSteepDaily. When I say steep, that means so much. It's a loaded word. I steep meaning I sip tea daily. I sip it for my nervous system regulation. I sip it for my own internal peace. I sip it for ritualistically. It allows me to rest in a moment because I have to stop and make it. I have to give time to the process, so I might as well make it sacred. So I steep in that regard. I steep in regards to pondering thoughts. I steep in regards to elevating my mindset and how I think and how I move through life. It has really gotten me to a space where I can start to kind of move through life without, on my own accord. And we say that a lot, but truthfully, I feel like I'm living more in my head versus trying to live more outside of it and conform to everything I see out there. So I think that's what I mean by that. But I feel like we should go back into our healing mode and find tools that help us get through and process our feelings and our emotions, and bring them back to the forefront. I know we've pressed them back for so long, and as a woman, a Black woman, we always push through no matter what, and sometimes you got to let some shit fall. And I'm not saying that, to get your anxiety going, because I know how that feels too. No, I can't drop all of these platters because I'm holding them up. And if I do, everything falls. Well, you know what? Sometimes things have to fall to be rebuilt. Okay. Sometimes they do. And sometimes you have to get to a space to where you don't really give a damn, you know? And I'm loving the space I'm in when it comes to that. And I'm not saying I don't give a damn being insensitive. I'm saying that more to say that I'm not allowing external things to dictate how I move. That's what I'm saying. So, iSteepDaily is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that you live. You choose it and you steep intentionally. You don't oversteep in your situations. And when you do steep, you getting things done. You processing. You know what I'm saying? You growing, you're elevating, you're ascending. You're steeping in a way that allows you to be the better version of yourself versus allowing it to take you down. You oversteeping. You turning bitter. You know, that's how I'm looking at it now. That's how I'm looking at it. I feel lighter. You know what I'm saying? I feel lighter in how I move. I feel lighter in my relationships. I feel lighter in my business. I feel lighter in life. You know what I'm saying? I feel lighter as a parent, so it's really doing something for me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start sharing this because, I've gone through so many processes on how to manage life. And every process don't work for everybody, but this one is working for me. So I'm not saying that this is going to work for everybody, but for the tribe that it works for, I'm talking to you. That's I'm talking to you. So I'm excited about iSteepDaily. There is so many layers to iSteepDaily outside of it being a lifestyle of rituals and nervous system regulation and healing. It's outside of that. It's a whole thing. It's a whole vibe. Um, I encourage you, if you are, a woman that is oversteeped, and it's okay to be oversteeped. It is. It's okay to be oversteeped. It's just a matter of how am I going to process myself out of this oversteep. So when I do steep through life, because you're going to always do that, when I do steep through life, I can process it and not allow it to take me out. So if you're a woman that's oversteeped or you want to get through, your situations when you are in a steep cycle or season, definitely follow the channel. I am honestly building this thing as I go along. So instead of getting it, prim and proper and perfect and aesthetically this and that, I'm just gonna let y'all watch me do it. I mean, because I'm honestly building this. I'm honestly allowing myself to figure out a way that's going to work for me for my own healing, and I'm going to share that process with whoever is looking for one. That's it. So with that being said, I am so glad you stayed to the end. And if you did, can you go ahead and put a little put a little teacup in the comments down there, put a little teacup there, just to let me know that you sit here in this moment with me, as we held space together, and you steeped with me. You sip tea with your girl. I appreciate it. I'm so excited for this new journey. I want y'all to steep with me daily. Follow me on, if you're watching this on Goddess Vlog Media, you can follow me on iSteepDaily for more steep situations, and continue to follow Goddess Vlog Media. But if you are on iSteepDaily, I do have another channel, Goddess Vlog Media, where I talk more about hair, locks, things like that, your crown, things like that. But iSteepDaily is definitely a thing. I'm putting this thing together. I am so excited about it. I can definitely tell I'm being led, and we will talk about that because we got to circle back around to the cycle, okay, with the growing of the tree, so let's get that together, okay. But with that being said, I am so excited. I'm glad y'all stayed to the end, and I will hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day.